So I get to start the episode.
Aren't you excited about that?
This is cool.
You told me
I
you were
almost
excited
never do.
to
I
start
am
the
excited.
episode, so I'm ready to see what
So-
you got in store.
I got to set the scene.
Okay.
So there I was.
Do you need effect?
Maybe just a slight echo. Just a slight. Check. Okay, so there I was, sitting at the shop, and I'd partaken in some gardening with a friend, and I was like, I need to watch some Bob Ross. I really need to just feel that calming energy, because Bob Ross is aggressively calming.
It is one of those, like, I could put it on and get it, and, like, not even be ready for bed because it's 4 PM, and I could be either, like, just enamored with the television where I can't be unglued from it, or I will go to sleep quicker than I can, think about, like, I should probably lay down.
Exactly. So I'm watching The Wizard at work, and this particular individual who remained nameless says, I hate this. I hate watching Bob Ross. And I was like, what? She was like, all the, like, smacking sounds with his lips. I was like, first of all, that's the microphone. She's like, well, he's a moist talker. And I'm like, the microphone's directly by his face. We're talking like 90s technology here.
At the latest, a lot of it was recorded before that.
Exactly. And
Public access television
exactly
technology.
Exactly. So even worse.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have to consider all of that. Like, but just feel it. So she pissed me off.
Wait. Continue.
And then I said, can you imagine Bob Ross in the bar picking up ladies? I'm like, that'd be a smooth talking man. So we're going to have a little exercise here, and I think you know where we're going.
Oh, God. Am I Bob Ross?
No, you're the pretty lady in the bar.
Oh, no. I don't want to be a pretty lady in a bar.
You are, because I have all these things compiled of Bob Rossisms.
Okay, well, I'm a pretty lady at a bar.
Yeah, you're having a drink, and I slide up. You know?
Holding on, I'm gonna have to close my eyes for all this because you're Bob Ross now, correct?
Yes, I'm Bob Ross.
Okay.
Hey, you know something? I saw you over there, and I think you're just beautiful. I'd like to buy you a drink. And you know, I don't believe in mistakes, but meeting you feels like a very happy accident. You've got a little magic in you. I can see it in your eyes.
Sir, what in the absolute hell are you talking about? Why is your hair so big?
You make my world look like it needs a few more happy little clouds. You're not receiving this how you're supposed to.
If that's you talking about putting little white splotches of...
Or we'll get into some spices.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You don't rush beauty. You let it unfold naturally. I'm not saying I would paint you, but I would study every curve.
What in the are you talking about, you Afro mother? I don't fucking...
I like to work in layers, and I'm very patient.
I'm going to call the goddamn cops if you don't get the out of here, you stupid son of a...
You can always add more later. That's the fun part. There's no rules here. This is your world. We'll start slow, blend it out, and finish nice and smooth.
We ain't going to start nothing, you mother... I don't care what the you say.
Look, we'll just beat the devil out of it.
No, I don't really hate that proposition, honestly. Like, what do you mean by that? That means you want to take that little brush and you're going to take it and dip it in something, and whenever you get done with that, and after you shake it out and you get it right, and then you're in there and you're trying and all of the and.
I like things soft, warm, and just a little bit messy. Sometimes you got to get a little bold with your strokes.
You're insinuating some very intense scenarios here for us just meeting at the bar. Haven't I seen you on the TV?
My impression was he could talk the pants off anybody. That's a smooth talking man.
Oh,
He wasn't supposed to be unreceptive.
but
You were supposed to be a pretty lady, not like a hateful bearded man.
what if I was a hateful lady?
It
Or
wouldn't
what if
happen. It's Bob Ross.
What if his? Because I can't admit the gentle, understand the gentle aura of Bob Ross.
Look, Austin, sometimes you lean in just a little and it changes everything. It's all about gentle pressure in the right places. A little warmth goes a long way. This feels like one of those moments you don't have to overthink. You don't need rules when the vibes are right.
Okay, now that sounds like a fucking Tinder profile for Bob Ross right there.
I'd say this.
That'd give him a lot of right swipes for people that are actually reading the profiles.
I'd say we have potential, a lot of potential.
You've made an account for somebody before on a dating app that didn't actually.
I have.
So what you could, which we don't have to say what app it is, but you can also make your coffee in it if that makes any sense.
It's also another term for sandwiches.
Yeah, that's true. They sell them at Bellacino's.
Yeah, so I put him on a sandwich app.
You did put him on the sandwich app,
and he's somebody that's very aggressively against sandwich people.
He hates the sandwich people.
And so
uses sandwich slurs all the time.
Exactly. So I found like the worst picture of him and cropped it down to just his face because I'm not putting kids in there. That's just wrong in my opinion. So I made the profile and he's like in the picture, and it was like I like mowing grass, like I like mowing ass, because my plan was to make this profile, take a screen capture, and unless it's changed, apparently on that particular app. And once you make an account live, because I had to make it live to get the screen cap, that it has to be active for at least 24 hours before it can be deleted.
Yeah.
So I had the app on my phone for a day. The amount of pictures that man got of bits and bobs, more bobs and bits.
Bips and bobs.
Yeah, just of all the giblets. So much garbage.
Yeah.
And it was astounding.
You could probably make a profile for Bob Ross that actually got people that that would actually respond to it.
I should make a dating profile with just Bob Ross lines like that and just see what happens.
Oh my God. I mean, it couldn't be worse than your current attempts on the dating apps.
I mean, what's worse that can happen?
I don't know.
I find another weird person.
That's not how dating apps work.
Look, the couple of people that I had talked to, one of them that I dated from there, she's a really good person. It just, didn't work out for us.
Yeah.
And we're still friends.
Yeah.
However, there was a few in between that I just spoke to and never met in person that were weird, man. Look, have the kids leave the room.
Oh God. He's getting past 13 of the PGs.
Yes. Tiny sometimes likes strange things. And by strange, I mean things that not everybody's into. And that's fine. And there's always a line. And then I was presented with a new line. I didn't know that line ever existed, nor could be crossed. So I was speaking with this lady. She was in a wheelchair. And that was fine. Whatever. We all need some love. And she seemed really cool. And for some reason, eventually, I'm never the one that brings it up. So I'm throwing that out there. The lady will be like, well, what kind of stuff do you like to do? And I'm like, well, I like RC cars and doing a podcast with my buddy. And they're like, no. Like... stuff.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get to the little bips and bops.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'll have this conversation.
Skip the formalities. Get straight to business.
Yeah. So nothing graphic. Just like, hey, this is some stuff that I enjoy, and this one was like, oh, I like all that stuff too. I'm like, cool. That's dope. We could be compatible in that. That's where my thought was, and then she hit me with, well, there's one thing that I like to do, or that I've always wanted to do, and I think it'd be a great time, but everybody's too afraid to do it.
This is a weird premise for an introduction to somebody.
And
Continue.
I said, okay.
You just had to know. You had to know. I know.
I do. I mean,
of anybody, you would have to know. Continue.
exactly. And I said, okay, what is that? And she said, and mind you, she's paralyzed from the waist down. Which we had a conversation like, is that even like fun for you? And she was like, yeah, I can still feel stuff. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, she said, I would like to paint up like a corpse and just lay there while somebody does their thing.
There we go.
And I was like,
we found the well that
and
now her memory's going to have to fade down.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't do that. That's some Ed Gein stuff.
That is not that ain't it.
Some Jeffrey Dahmer stuff.
That ain't it, y'all.
And far be it from me to yuck somebody's yum, but that's not something that I would want to ever participate in.
That would make a man go full-blown Randy Jackson and just have to tell them that's a no from me, dog.
Yeah, that's what I said.
We
didn't speak anymore after that.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
There
was also the chick that was into feet.
That's a no from me, dog.
Have you ever met a woman into feet? I didn't know they made those until I found one of those.
Just people that are into feet in general. Like, just that light.
That's already weird. But no, it was back when I was, like, working at Tech as a chef.
Uh-huh.
And, I just somehow, I just wear Crocs all the time. So that might be weird for you, but, hey, that's just what I do. And she was like, no, that's fine. I was like, okay. She's like, do you ever wear socks with your Crocs? And I was like, maybe if it's cold, I was like,
yeah.
She goes, well, would you, like, wear a pair of socks for me, like, every day for an entire week and let me have them? I was like, no, that's, ew, because sometimes my feet get wet from, like, food stuff and water, and no. Because I had, like, kitchen-style Crocs. And I was like, that's a no from me, dog, too.
Tiny.
And I was like, that was a female. I've never met a female into feet. Which I'm sure y'all are out there, and that's awesome. I hope you find somebody that loves that about you.
Tiny, I tried to get rid of the memory that you just put into my head, but it didn't. It grabbed it. It's holding it on the ceiling right there. It's right up there.
Where?
Up there.
Oh, God!
Tales of nerds and lore. Three best friends on a podcast line with laughs and chats galore. From comics break to movies grand and games we love to play. We'll sail the seas of fandom land in our nerdy way. People raise a glass to the stories we entwine. With laughter loud and knowledge vast, nerded through the grapevine. Come join the crew, we'll share our tales divine. From D&D to MCU, nerded through the grapevine.
Hi, everyone. I'm Austin Shazam. You might not have thought of it that way. Pfeiffer.
And I'm Tiny. I don't believe in mistakes. But this podcast feels like a happy accident.
And we are Nerd It Through the Grapevine, the podcast where your best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. And this week, we've got a few things we'd like to discuss with you. And I think that the main thing that we're discussing with you is stuff that might break from the norm of your Christmasing. I'm talking about a couple of things today whenever it comes to that. The first one that I'm going to talk about is something that I've recently gotten into that I decided because it's something about here in Tennessee. As soon as December hit, it had an e-brake and then like a fourth gear.
I literally got ingredients for this dish. I already know the dish.
Which one is it?
Chili.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure you know the chili?
I mean, that's a chili cookbook.
It is not. It's not.
I mean, among other things.
It's not just any chili.
It was literally made because of chili.
It's not just any chili cookbook.
I know.
This is Kevin's famous chili cookbook.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This is a very cool little book that has not only the history of why Kevin is so crucial to the chili, but it's also like a little brief history of how Brian Baumgartner has been able to has been part of like Bush's chili cook-off nationwide stuff because of
that's awesome.
because of his like involvement with chili and his involvement with how like the Kevin's Famous chili was such an iconic scene within that very popular show. It's so much so I've even got the Kevin's Famous chili tattoo on the back of my calf, which we were going to show previously on the podcast, but it was a joke that Black Flag did to me whenever I did my hand up like this to show the picture. I was like, because here's my tattoo of Kevin and his Spilly chili, and I did like that where the thing pops up that they've gotten really good at doing.
Mm-hmm.
But there was nothing there, and I never know if there's going to be anything there. Like the mall,
None of us know.
like mall,
Yeah.
the mall insert giggled me. I giggled so much just looking at mall.
I did too.
But
It's literally a picture from mall that we have.
like this book has even got like just a brief history of chili and fun facts about chili, like in a timeline of chili and why. Like it dates back. It starts back in like pre-1700 talking about chili.
I mean, I'll be honest. Chili is one of my favorite soups. I don't think it should be confined to just wintertime, but in the wintertime, I crave it so much.
There's something just needed.
And just in case anybody's wondering how you make actually thick chili, add a little cornstarch. It'll thicken it. I've gotten several people ask me that. I'm like, bruh, cornstarch.
I'm gonna look up a specific one in here that
Not a lot, couple teaspoons.
Yeah, and also it helps if you mix it in with a liquid before you pour it into the.
You make a slurry.
Yeah, make a slurry first. Don't make a mistake of trying to slurry it into the mix. It'll turn
No.
into little chunky puffs.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
That's real bad news bears.
Ask me how I know. Let's see. I'm going to find it in here because I know that it exists because the other day I had it bookmarked and saved, but my bookmark is gone.
So
What?
when I was getting my chili ingredients, I was like, I need one of them 5-pound logs of hamburg.
Oh, yeah? 5 pounds?
Yeah, I make a big old pot when I make it because I'm going to eat that for a whole week, bro.
Oh, boy.
And so y'all watch out at the shop. It'll probably be lit in there. But as I'm looking at the chubs of meat, I was like, it's $17 for a 5-pound chub of ground beef. And then I look down and I see a 5-pound chub of ground meat for like 12. And I'm like, that's what it's supposed to be. And it was like a blend of beef and pork. And I was like, I probably would have done that anyway. And then I just bought that instead. Because mixing ground pork and ground beef in your chili, pretty good.
I think that, there's so many variations on chili inside of this book. I mean, it's got home-style chilies. It's got Cincinnati-style chilies, turkey chilies, white chicken chilies, vegetarian chilies.
White chicken chili. That's good
White
stuff.
chicken chili is like, you got to make it good, though. Like
It's like chili's sexy French cousin.
I'm going to give you, the listeners to the podcast, Kevin's famous chili recipe.
Say it as Kevin.
The ingredients that you need are olive oil, 2 onions diced, 5 cloves of garlic minced. I can't do it. I can't do a good Kevin
It
voice.
was a good try.
Because when I try to do a Kevin voice now, I've been watching so much of Welcome to Derry, that it gets into like the Bill Skarsgård, like Pennywise voice, and I don't want to just get in 2 jalapenos, finely chopped,
I got you.
3 diced ancho chilies, rehydrated in hot water for 10 minutes and finely chopped. 3 pounds of ground beef. It's a hefty size of ground beef, like what the Italian likes to use.
Yep.
10 to 12 fresh plum tomatoes, peeled and diced. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. A 15-ounce can of dark kidney beans. 15-ounce can of light kidney beans. 15-ounce can of pinto. 15-ounce can of black. 15-ounce can of navy. 4 cups of beef
Navy
broth.
beans?
Yes.
Okay.
4 cups beef broth, 3 tablespoons cumin, 3 tablespoons coriander, 3 tablespoons oregano, salt and pepper to taste.
No chili pea?
No chili pea.
What? Well, you get enough stuff from fresh chili.
You heat the olive oil in a large pot, gently saute the onions, leaving them slightly undercooked. You have to leave them undercooked because everything gets to know each other in the pot. The secret is I undercook the onions. You add the garlic, the jalapeno, and the ancho chilies, toasting them lightly. Pour in the ground beef, allow the beef to brown before adding the diced tomatoes, tomato paste, beans, beef broth, and spices. Simmer for an hour over medium-low heat, stirring frequently, and enjoy your favorite chili with your toppings. So you can get all your favorite toppings, like your sour cream and your Shred'ems cheese and stuff. I've been fresh grating cheese here recently, just because you can buy a big old bulk
Well,
block.
yeah, and you don't have to rinse it.
And then I'm sitting there and I'm just like doing, like, I've got the little handheld shredder, and if you go real slow, it'll do like long, super stringy shreds. But if you go real fast, it'll make them a little bit more fine grated.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
I mean, and if you get the shredded kind, you need to rinse it because they put cornstarch and other things in there to keep it from clumping.
And just to give the proper due, that is a recreation recipe of Kevin Famous Chili from the Kevin's cookbook here by a lady named Ariana Fagan. She is from Excelsior, Minnesota. Just to give credit where credit is due for a recipe inside of a cookbook, because I would be so down to try. I mean, look at the picture.
Oh yeah,
If somebody handed you a bowl of chili that looked like that, like,
I'd eat it.
would you just tell them, like, ask them if they had another bowl? Not because you're going to refuse that one, but you want to have the other one on, like, on
I'm
standby.
gonna tell you something right now. I'd eat that and make you watch.
Oh, there's been a couple of other chilies in here too. I saw one that was like a Cincinnati chili, and I'm not even a Cincinnati chili
Cincinnati
guy.
chili's weird. I grew up with that for a little bit, because that was what my dad made. And none of us, well, I was too young for it to be weird, but spaghetti noodles with
Yeah.
chili on top, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's an oddball thing.
I don't hate it because I've tried it since as an adult, and it's fine. I would rather have chili mac than Cincinnati style chili.
Yeah, because it looks like a lot of the Cincinnati chili stuff, like,
Well,
it
a lot
looks
of
like
Cincinnati
just,
chili also doesn't have beans.
it's a really saucy sauce is what it looks like.
It's actually considered like a meat sauce
Ooh,
more so than a chili.
Texas chili. Oh my, this is something. This one's got a 3.5 hour cook time.
I mean, my chili takes like 6 to 8 hours
Yeah, because you
in
want it
the
to.
crock pea.
Oh, you crock pocket?
Well, in the Instapea,
You have a big enough crock pot for 6 pounds of beef?
dude, I got like the biggest crock pot you can buy at the Walmart. And yes, now you got to be careful though, because you can break chili if you let it cook too long. Because if you let it sit more than like 6 to 7 hours in that crock pea, it'll break.
If anybody would be interested in finding out some more recipes from this chili cookbook, I can come back with another one. It's a really good cookbook. I forget things, like this was a good gift that I received for Christmas, and it is Christmas season again, and
It's not a good gift.
It's a great
gift.
It is a great gift. Like, I really enjoy it. And just in case you wanted to get your own copy of the all-time favorite chili recipes book, it features recipes for chili con carne, chili verde, white chicken chili, Texas chili, Cincinnati chili, turkey chili, vegetarian chili, black bean chili, homestyle chili, and chili dogs, nachos, cornbread, and more.
Nice.
I enjoy having this because my mom has all the cookbooks that one can think of. Like Patti LaBelle released a cookbook a little while back, like a little while back. I mean, like umpty decades ago.
Right.
And Mom has that. My mom was in a couple of cookbooks.
Really?
And she had
mom should have
like
been.
one of those style, like acknowledgement cookbook thing.
Yeah.
It is it's cool to have written recipes for stuff as opposed to having to look up the instructions online.
Yeah.
Because you know how quickly I just delivered that information from that, and like it took less time for me to deliver the information.
And there were 0 ads.
Like you didn't even have to, like, I could have given you the history of when chili started, but I didn't. I skipped to the recipe.
And you didn't even have to scroll past an ad. It was just there,
Yeah.
what you needed.
I'm providing a service. I think it's a quality service that people just really I get straight to the point. That's it. I just get straight to the point.
I do have to call you out on one fact.
Fuck.
Have you made Kevin's famous chili?
I haven't yet, but that's the one that I'm going to try to make.
I'm sorry that I had to do that.
Well, yeah, that's the one that I'm gonna try to make
Yeah.
because that's the one that I was like, I'm gonna try this Kevin's chili recipe.
You have to, at least the first
Because
one out of there.
I cracked this book open for the first time the other week whenever I set it in here in the podcast room.
You know what else I cracked open?
What?
The topic for our episode.
Oh yeah, those things that are traditions that aren't typically like a tradition, like
No.
like your Christmas movies or soups.
Yeah, the Christmas movies that people don't think are Christmas movies.
Which ones did you come up with?
Well, the first one was Edward Scissorhands.
That
is a Christmas movie.
Now does
It's a sad one.
now does Christmas take place within the movie?
Yes.
Is it centered around Christmas?
No, but the climax and the falling action of the movie is during Christmas. So I consider that a Christmas movie.
I can also see that as a Christmas movie, but that is not one that I would typically watch around Christmas time.
No, but it would be good.
It would be good. That would be a good Christmas movie to watch. What's the most Christmassy scene of it that you can remember?
The grandma reading, or not reading, but telling the story to the grandchild in bed while it's snowing outside on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. From the Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah.
I don't
Because, well, I mean, that's the whole movie is what was her name? Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
Her character talking to the grandchild about Edward. And there was just like a really nice message to it to like, hey, you know, it's okay if people are different. We should treat them like we want to be treated ourselves. So it was wholesome, had a good message, and a big chunk of the movie was during Christmas.
I can accept that.
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands would make a good Christmas movie that people should add to the list.
Mm-hmm.
Much like people want to try to add Die Hard to the list.
That's a Christmas movie.
I mean, that's been a debate for forever that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like they say that it's an action movie first, but setting aside the office party and its explosions, one-liners, and bare feet on glass, December marathons turned it into peak holiday action comfort, which is true. There are themes that take place within Die Hard that do trigger that Christmassy, but at the same time, it's more of an action, like an action driver than it is.
Yeah, well, not every Christmas movie has to be that,
Ding 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 a ding ding
Exactly.
ding ding a bing tong. Doesn't have to be all jingle all the way.
Exactly. Which those are good in their own right.
I can't believe I never watched past the credits on that movie and saw the wife. And the wife confront him about like, well, if you went through all that trouble to get Jamie a present, what did you get me?
I think I did see it a couple of times.
Yeah.
But I only saw it because I was at the shop
And it
I
just
was
keeps
playing
playing.
it because I've been playing Christmas movies at the shop just because I've wanted to, and I never want to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was one of them. And I was like, that kind of looks a little familiar because I think on some things they moved it before the credits.
Yeah.
Because I have seen it, but I haven't seen it.
I never knew that. I
know how
didn't.
to describe
I
it.
don't like. I recall it, but I don't recall it being after the credits. Like, why would
Yeah,
I?
there you go. That's a good way to put it.
Like, why would I watch and like sit till an after credit scene in a movie back in those days? Those
Yeah, there
didn't
was no reason
exist.
to.
There were no like after credits like anything's like hardly back in those days.
Exactly.
Like I feel like Marvel really started the after credits
Oh, it
phase of
did.
stuff.
Because you don't walk out of a Marvel movie without sitting through every credit.
Yeah, because if you had walked out on Iron Man 1 after the credits, you would have missed the beginning of the Avengers. Freaking Samuel L. Jackson, like Tony Stark. What if I told you we're putting together a team? And that was I wish we could go back in time and relive all that.
And I'm back when Marvel movies were great.
Yeah, back when Marvel movies, didn't just there's a disconnect between me and Marvel stuff now.
I mean, well, since we're talking about Iron Man 3 was a Christmas movie.
It was a Christmas movie about PTSD.
Yeah. Now, he had a terrible Christmas.
He had a real bad Christmas.
Well, I mean, it went very like Christmas core themes, nightmares, anxiety attacks, fear of losing loved ones, especially around the holidays. And the final act had, very like a big emotional resolution on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Because it also starts off with him narrating at Christmas.
That's true. I hadn't even thought about that. I didn't have that on my list. I hadn't even thought about any of the Iron Mans besides Iron Man 1 in a long time.
I know.
All I can remember from Iron Man 3 is he had 7 million suits.
Oh yeah, he had so many suits.
And none of them really 100% worked the way he wanted them to.
Well, yeah, because he was still dealing with PTSD from the whole Avengers thing. So his mind wasn't focusing as it should, and so things weren't working right.
This is true. What
Because
you
his
say.
brain wasn't working right.
This is
because the suit is Tony's mind,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. This is true. It's true what you say.
Yeah.
And then I think
It's symbolism.
Pepper got superpowers.
No, but she did get a suit, and I'm going to tell you, oh, she looked good in the suit.
The purple suit?
Mm-hmm.
I can remember the purple suit.
Because when it opened, it went, I went, ooh.
She wore that during Endgame as well.
Mm-hmm.
At the very end.
I don't know. I haven't seen that.
You missed out on the best one, dude. Did you watch Infinity War?
No, I've only seen the first Avengers movie.
Why'd you give up so early?
Because I watched Thor #2.
Did Dark World really ruin it for you?
Well, that and Captain America.
Why'd you not like Captain America?
Red Skull looked like a cartoon character.
Because he is a cartoon character.
It was the most dated looking CG head that they could have done.
It was a pretty skull-esque head, though.
I mean, it was.
You mean he had
But
no
I was
nose?
like-
He had no nose.
And and I understand you got to suspend some disbelief watching superhero movies, and I'm fine with that. Like, I love fantasy, it's great. But I was like, man, they just kind of phoned it in.
So what if you had a movie that was about an eternal winter, cozy coats, hot drinks, and even Father Christmas showing up? Yet the movie isn't about Christmas at all. What do you think that movie is?
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yes. Chronicles of Narnia, the Land of With Him.
Yeah, if I could get it out of my mouth.
We used to smack it for that, but we don't smack no more.
I don't want to.
We don't smack no more.
We've grown past that.
We have. It used to hurt. Sometimes we take it real seriously, and Tiny's got lip piercings.
Oh, God. It would suck smacking those them against my teeth.
He'd get a couple good pops in there, and he's like, "Oh, that might be a few $100 in dental surgery." Oh, shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Christmas also represented the Holy Spirit in that movie, if you break it down into the religious sense.
Where are you, Christmas?
And that was the second Chronicles of Narnia book, not the first one.
Well, that's just the first movie.
I know, but I don't think they ever did do the first book as a movie, but they did a bunch of the other ones.
What's the first movie? What's the first book?
These kids are staying with their grandfather. I'm pretty sure their parents passed away, and they're not allowed to go into the study, but they do anyway, and they come in contact with these magical stones that he have, and they get transported to another world, and it's
So they don't go through the wardrobe.
no, that's the second one.
The second one, they step through the wardrobe. The first one, they get transported they get Ezekiel,
Yeah, pretty much.
via stone portal.
They get itchy guide,
That's not how you say it.
and it's not even Narnia that they're in. It's a completely kind of different place.
So,
I think it's called the Children and the Magician.
so was CS writing about multiple dimensions?
Kinda, yeah.
So not just Narnia was one, but this magic world was another one that wasn't Narnia, but then Narnia became a focus because I feel like all the rest of them were about Narnia.
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
They were different time periods in Narnia.
This is
I mean, this one could have been Narnia, but way long time ago.
could have been Narnia before Narnia.
yeah.
Could have been like America back when it was called whatever America was.
I'll tell you what the book is in just a second.
Wonder what America was called before it was called America.
I don't know. I don't think I could pronounce it.
I know a lot of things. That's weird that I don't know that.
The Magician's Nephew. That's what it was.
Fucking from The Magician's Nephew to America?
No. The first Narnia book was The Magician's Nephew. It's technically a prequel. It features the creation of the Narnia world by Aslan. That's what it was.
Oh.
And it, Narnia centered on the section where the lamppost was. So it takes place 1,000 years before The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And the grandpa's kind of like not a good person from the descriptions. He was mad.
I think some of the earliest they call oh God, this is crazy. Okay, so how far back you want to go
What do you mean?
for like what America was called? Like how far back you want to go? You want to go back like Native American? You want to go back like Viking?
Let's do both.
The Vikings referred to a lot of parts of North America as Vinland.
Yeah.
They called it Vinland, which stood for wineland, because of the vast amounts of grapes that they would find growing in the areas that they would land.
Yeah.
So they called it Vinland for all of the vines of that. The Mayans called America Ameriki, and that stands for the land of the strong wind.
Okay. Because tornadoes. Got you.
Yeah, because you go just slightly up, down in Texas and everything. If you get that, if you're south, you
Well,
get
that
up,
makes sense.
just get up into Tornado Alley real damn quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't live there.
Land of the strong winds. Like, what do you mean? These, like, imagine back in those days where you don't know science and nature and all this other stuff, but you just know spiritual representations of things. Everything's given a spiritual representation. And you come to this part of, like, this flat open area of the world that you've traveled to just trying to discover places, and all of a sudden there's a tornado.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Some parts of the world don't know what a tornado is.
I know.
Like,
Ireland, not a clue.
like tornadoes just even existing, like what does that even mean? Like it depends on the ranking, but yeah, it's wind funnels that'll suck you
I
up.
mean, my boy Garen Noon on the Talk of the Tick.
Yeah,
He was talking about that the other day. He was like,
what the fuck?
why do y'all live there? Like, for real, like the wind tries to murder you, and yet you're like, oh, I'll just rebuild and you stay. And I went, he's got a pretty good, sound reasoning right there.
It was also referred to as Turtle Island by the Iroquois.
Oh, I like that.
Turtle, yeah, well,
I
also
don't know
that,
why I like that. I just do.
well, because that's where Stephen King based a lot of his,
Yeah, that's probably it.
probably a lot of his supernatural, because the children of the turtle, Maturin.
Yeah,
like
I do like the depictions of Maturin.
They talk about those. They talk about the children of Maturin as the actual tribe that was protecting the town of Derry, before it became the town of Derry. And Welcome to Derry. Yeah. Dude, you would love Welcome to Derry more so than what you're rightfully supposed to love Welcome to Derry.
Well, I mean, from what I've been told, it's kind of like the genesis of a lot of the what's the word? Not the universe, but the cosmology.
Yeah, well, it's
of the
based.
Stephen King universe.
Yeah, it's just It's basically it's taking the stuff that's already out there in the ether and it's pulling it too.
Yeah.
Like the fact that today
I mean, maybe I'll give it a shot. Like, what's it on?
it is on HBO Max.
Okay.
And I'll let you know that they even reference like stuff down into like tying in Shawshank Redemption down to Andy's fucking stone, the piece of dark volcanic glass that has no business being in the cow
Yeah.
field. It even ties in stuff like that and why he even has it.
Interesting. Now, did Stephen King have anything to do with the show?
I think he did. I don't think it's like a main role in it, but there's no way they're going to take all
at
of
least
his.
as like a consulting thing, because a lot of his stuff comes in two flavors of really, really good or really, really dog shit.
I think the general consensus for how this is turning out is very, very good as far as what people are reporting.
It's
online.
been out long enough for an opinion to be formed.
The finale of it is currently on right now. Like it just premiered.
Like Trudy's watching it right now.
Hell no! I gotta wait till she's nowhere near earshot.
Well, you said right now when you pointed.
No, I just know that it's available to stream as we're doing this right now. It's became available to stream.
Teasing.
Nah, dude, I gotta wait till she's in like deep book world or something, because if she's not in
You're
deep,
like, baby, how about you go read about that Lion Man?
yeah, why don't you go read? Hey, honey, don't you got that book about the sexy Nutcracker or something, like the retelling of the Nutcracker, but he's sexy? No, but it's seriously a. It's pretty damn scary. Like, and I'm not talking like because I'm a big old puss, but there's some genuinely terrifying things that happen.
Well, I mean, if you looked at some of the big bads from the Stephen King universe, they are absolutely horrifying.
Yeah.
Because Pennywise, if you kind of want to put a label to him, he's almost like the god of chaos.
You get references to the turtle. You get references to the bear. You get to find out.
I can't remember his name.
I can't either off the top of my head. I remember.
Yeah,
I think he's a cyborg.
he is. He dies in one of the.
But that's not what I'm meaning by the reference to him in the show. It's just like it's really cool the way that they tie so much open world into this one cohesive story without making the stuff feel like it's super Easter eggy or anything. It's just like literally part of the story.
Well, Maturin and the bear, they were along the same beam.
Yeah, they're literally opposite sides of like the coin.
Yeah, because you had the elephant and the wolf, the rat and the fish, the bat and the hare, the eagle and the lion, dog and the horse, and turtle and the bear.
Yeah.
The bear, Shardik.
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 Yep. They do.
Shardik had gone insane and he'd become like essentially infected.
Yeah.
And his skin was rotting, and so they took him out. They were there to guard and protect the beams to hold it up, because the beams are what tie the entire universe together and also hold it in place, because if they fall, everything else does.
But
think of it like, rafters on your house.
I think another movie that could be in this kind of genre here for us would also be The Shining, just due to the setting of everything and how it's nothing but abominable snow. Like, that's the reason why it has to take place in the first place, is because they can't get out of there because the snow has got them completely trapped.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they're so desperate. Like, they can't just walk to freedom. They'll die in a few feet.
Oh, yeah. It's like, the book is crazy. I've never seen the movie, all of it. I've seen vast chunks of it. But,
yeah,
like, he went in knowing that they were going to spend months in the mountains with nobody else.
The guy's name, it's Dick Hamlin, right? That is the groundskeeper at the Overlook.
I believe so.
That's not the Overlook. What's it called?
It was the Overlook
It's
Hotel.
the Overlook. Okay, yeah, but because it was Hamlin or something. Look him up. What's it? Are you in the process of it?
Yep.
It's what was his name? Because I was trying to remember his name, because he's in the show as well. He's like a main character. But
Charles Grady.
That's the.
Oh, that was the previous caretaker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, who's the? I'm trying to remember the.
Well, it was the chef. He wasn't a groundskeeper.
Was he the chef?
Yeah. Well, at least in the book. Well, the movie's the chef too. Dick
Halloran.
Dick
Halloran. Yeah.
And he had a lot of The Shining.
Dude, not only does he have a lot of The Shining, it like gets in depth into how much of The Shining he has, and like different aspects of things he has to do for mentality of like being a person with the same level of shining he's got. Like, it's hard to person.
Yeah.
And here, like,
the Shining, the book alludes to that, because like when Danny shows up with his dad, Dick just kind of mentioned something to his dad, like, your boy's special and he's got a whole lot of potential. Because the way Danny was, like, he was just budding into his shining.
Yeah.
And he had the potential, just based on the amount that he had, to have like the most.
But
at least from Dick's perspective.
Dick was scared for how much Danny had.
Yeah.
Because Dick has also had a very strong shine, and he knew what could see you as well as what you could see.
Yep.
And that's what he was always afraid of, because he, like, at one point in the show, you'll get to watch it happen, and I'm not going to spoil, but he sees the entity, Pennywise. He sees the entity, and the entity sees him back.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes those safeguards off his brain hole. It makes me think, along with a good portion of the internet, because typically if I'm thinking stuff, like, there's somebody out there thinking stuff, because I'm not the only one with thoughts. But, like, makes us think, like, the reason for him being in the Overlook might be a retreat for him, using the spiritual nature of the Overlook to mask himself from Pennywise and others like that would seek the shining, like, to consume it.
It's kind of alluded to the fact in the book that regardless of anything else, that Danny was meant to be at the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of things happening inside of the universe at the time, and Danny himself, with his shining at the end, basically reels in a rainbow-colored fish, which symbolized a sense of peace and continuity. So he reeled in a representation of one of the guardians of the beam in order to like heal the area and what was going on in the world right then.
I don't know what's gonna happen with the finale of the show because I'm very excited to check it out. But I think that you'll enjoy it as much as you're the guy feeding me Stephen King stuff, and then Stephen King stuff that you have fed me in the past comes regurgitating onto the screen, and I'm like, oh, Tiny would.
Yeah, like I know way too much about the Stephen King universe,
Like,
because I've read, dude, I sat and compared what I've read to the books in existence of his, and I'm only off by like 10.
and me picking out little Easter eggy things inside of a show like this just based off of you feeding me stuff. Imagine somebody who's the source of the tit,
Yeah.
the proverbial Stephen King teat in which I have suckled, being like watching the show. You would enjoy it a lot more than I would enjoy it, but I have thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least you would like to pick stuff apart,
Right.
you know, and see things. You might, I don't,
It's like I can see past some weirdnesses, you know, for the sake of being able to do a thing. I was just concerned because there is but isn't source material for it, and what is it going to be about, you know?
there is a brief moment of confusion within the show to where a character shows Pennywise love.
Well, yeah, he doesn't understand it because he feeds on fear.
And it shows him like get disgusted.
Well, yeah, that's how he's defeated in the novel, was by showing love.
So and just but how subtle it was, because he was at peak, like at a peak strength kind of moment.
Yeah.
And just to show how like subtle this like mood change in him was just because of the love that was shown him. I'm like, God, this is a good. Tiny needs to watch it. Tiny needs to watch it. What's another good movie that would be good to watch around these times? If you would?
Gremlins.
Oh my God, dude! It is like
Gremlins is so good.
like the dad dresses up as Santa Claus and gets caught in the chimney and dies, and they don't know he's dead in the chimney until they start smelling him.
What?
Yeah, dude, that's a story that the girl tells on Gremlins to the young man, main character. I forget his name, but she's sitting there. That's how her dad died, and that's why she
I
hates.
don't remember that at all.
Yeah, dude, that's what her dad died,
Are you
and that's
talking
why.
about Gremlins 2?
No, this is Gremlins. This is why she hates Christmas, because this is what it reminds her of every year, is the year that her dad died, because he was going to sneak down the chimney like Santa Claus, and he got stuck in the chimney, and they didn't know he was dead until they started to smell the body.
Damn. Because I
That's why-
vaguely remember the girl's dad dying, or that being stated, but I didn't remember that. I was just mainly talking about, you know, the Magpie being like a gift and stuff. But
Yeah.
it was kind of treated irresponsibly,
Yeah.
and then fuckery ensues.
I can't believe that's like the darkest part of Gremlins. The rest of it just seems like tomfoolery. And let's see. Yeah, it says here that he was attempting to surprise her and her mother dressed up as Santa Claus, and what had happened was he planned to climb down the chimney and surprise his family. He accidentally slipped and broke his neck inside of the chimney, and he died instantly. His body became stuck in the chimney and wasn't found for several days until the family tried to light a fire and noticed the smell.
Jesus.
The incident then traumatized Kate, which is her name, and from that point on, she despised Christmas.
I mean, can't blame her, kinda.
I can't. That's I don't know if that's a deep cut or not, but I think most people remember Markball and not so much like dark ass Santa story.
Yeah, 'cause that was the part that I remembered.
You know the part that you probably remembered from it.
Yeah, yeah. There's a creature in the other room that reminds me of that movie.
God, yeah, Millie does look a lot like.
She looks more like that than an Ewok.
Yeah, she looks a lot like Gizmo, especially whenever she's like laying on her back and her ears flip up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like she.
Well, my Aunt Julie's dog growing up was a Shih Tzu named Gizmo.
My friend Zach had a Shih Tzu named Gizmo.
Gizmo was a good boy.
Gizmo's a good Shih Tzu name. Like you know it's gonna be close. It don't matter what color they turn out; they gonna look close.
Yep.
You know. worst case scenario, that might turn into like a Spike.
Yeah. Spike was cute.
He was until he greened out.
Yeah.
As soon as they greened out, they lost that cute.
Yeah, I can't remember. Was that when they ate after midnight where they got all green and slimy?
Yep. If you feed them after midnight, they turn into
you got them wet, they multiply.
Because if you get them wet, they multiply. If you feed them after midnight, they turn into gremlins as opposed to the Mogwai.
Yeah.
They evolve.
Because I wouldn't mind having a Mogwai.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what the Furbies were based on, but then they just made Furbies not cool.
Because they were government spy assets. You had to get rid of them. They were ruining national security.
No, when the batteries would die, bro. Yeah.
Coming from your closet at 2 a.m.
Yep.
And they would try to woot. You know how they do that little excited, like jerk back and forth? Woot. Whenever those batteries are dying, they would just like slightly move.
Look, growing up, there was a Furby in my house for exactly one weekend. My stepbrother came over and he had a Furby, and he's like, I got this thing. And I'm like, that's so cool. And then it never shut the fuck up. And then the Furby was disinvited to come back to the house. Not by me, but by my mother and the other one.
Yes.
Because I ended up moving that little bastard into the living room one night because I got tired of like almost falling asleep, and then it Furbied, and then I'm like, I can't do this.
No.
He's over there just
Yeah.
I'm like,
just out. No, not being bothered by the demon.
almost apnea sleeping, and I'm like, no, this has got to go.
Batman Returns.
Yep, that was on my list too.
Batman Returns is literally like all sorts of Christmas stuff going around all the time. Like, and it's set in a snowy scene in the first place. The start of the
Poison
movie.
Ivy's Christmas colored. I don't know how that pertains.
Poison Ivy's not in the movie.
That was Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Batman Returns is with a cool
Yeah.
glass of ice water.
Yeah, what was I thinking? Well, it wasn't I think another one was Christmas.
Batman
time,
Returns has a few Christmassy things in it because it has Mr. Freeze
too. Yeah, that's right.
because of
That's
his
why I
snow,
got there. Yeah.
and he literally has the "I'm Mr. Icicle,
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Snow,
That's
I'm
true.
Mr. White Christmas, I'm Mr. 10 Below."
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's got that, but then it's got Batman Returns.
Yeah, Batman Returns.
It's
because that's when the Penguin was born.
because they have
initially.
like this fake, like the way that the clown bandits and stuff would work would be almost like a fake Christmas parade.
Mm-hmm.
And then there all of a sudden here comes all these not robots, but here comes all these motorcycles and all these like gadgets and gizmos popping out of floats, and like here's a guy with a calliope that's a minigun, you know.
What?
It's like a wind up organ, a calliope.
Oh, I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, a what?
Yeah, a wind up organ like a calliope, and sometimes they're handheld. But he's playing on one of those, and has got like a dancing monkey, and then he turns a switch and cranks the calliope around, and he starts like has a minigun that pops out the front of it. You know, but here comes Batman, and and Batman's fighting him, and then there's also the main incident whenever Danny DeVito's character, the Penguin, uses Batman's batarang to kill a woman with, and basically plants the evidence to try to make Batman look like a bad guy. But all this stuff took place at like a Christmas tree lighting ceremony in the middle of Gotham.
Well, I mean, not only that, like the Penguin was born on Christmas Day and then subsequently ditched to float away and die.
Yeah,
But he was saved and raised by penguins, hence the Penguin.
the Penguin. I'm not an animal. I'm a human. I have a name. I had a name. Oswald Cobblepot. I like that movie.
It's a good one.
I like that movie. And also, super props to Michelle Pfeiffer's portrayal of Catwoman in the movie. And I'm not just talking like for tiny reasons with the...
No, she did fucking great, and
Dude,
she also looked amazing.
The whip scene in the department store.
Look, we can't talk about that on air.
The whip scene in the department store. You know when she's smacking the heads off the mannequins?
Of course I do.
Do you know how many takes that took?
I'm just going to say one.
It was a one shot. She one shot at that. She did it.
Yeah, that's
She
awesome.
did the whip action and did the one shot take. Like, I watched the behind the scenes of it, and literally everybody on the set lost their shit whenever she did it too. Like, they had to, like, because they waited until he said cut, and everybody, ah! Because, like, imagine being there and seeing this person in such a convincing full motion, using the whip like it's an extension of their body.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just whack, whack. And this is an actress portraying somebody that does this.
I didn't realize that she actually did the whip.
She did the whip.
Because I think most of Halle Berry's whip was done by someone else.
Or CGI.
Or CGI, yeah.
Yeah, the like literally Michelle Pfeiffer's whip stuff that she did, especially in that scene, was all Michelle Pfeiffer.
I enjoy that fact.
That is a real fun fact that isn't fake. So,
I enjoy that fact for multiple reasons.
in case you ever wanted to look it up, you can just get on the YouTube and look up the scene, and you can see the behind the scene one because that footage is out now.
Nice.
Do you have any other movies that you would like to recommend while we have a few minutes left?
I'm still distracted by the imagery.
I have one more.
Okay, shoot.
Rocky IV.
I've only ever seen the first Rocky movie.
In Rocky IV, there is a lot of training in the snowy mountain peaks in Russia. So if you want like a scene set to where you're having a lot of snow and you want a good actiony movie and all, and you don't mind a little propaganda, you can definitely watch Rocky IV. It's a very good movie. It's got a dope ass soundtrack because, of course, that is the way of action movies of the 80s. Like, if you didn't have a dope soundtrack, what movie you got? Mm-hmm. Survivor reprised their role as movie musicers because they had their first song that they had bigger in the movies, which was Survivor's Eye of the Tiger from Rocky III. And Rocky IV, it was Burning Heart. And that there's also this really cool car scene in Rocky IV that makes no sense, but also is cool. You get to see Sylvester Stallone just like driving like crazy inside of like a one of those dope Pontiacs from the 1980s. They were like the Firebird Trans Am style things. Because you got those things souped up, and those things were nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, get a lot of training in the snow, a lot of setting that makes the cold, like, it is cold outside. Watch something cold on the TV. Also, it's a good movie that most like there's not a lot of like cheesy Hallmarky movies that you can get a bunch of guys, like, say you got a bunch of guys in your family and you want to try to entertain them with a movie on the television or something. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get a lot of them with these sappy Hallmarky Christmassy stuff. But if you put Rocky IV on the television, you tell them that is a Christmas movie for you now, that they'll be like, oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That's an oh, hell yeah. Because Rocky IV is arguably one of the best Rocky movies.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I've only ever seen the first one.
Well, it
was not good. There was almost no plot.
What, Rocky 1? You mean the one that won the Oscar?
Yeah. I don't know how. It's like, were their standards that much lower than now? Because if you sit there and you're expecting a good through line story, it didn't have it. You're just like, oh, we're training now. Oh, now he's running with a dog. Where'd the dog go? Nobody knows. Oh, now we're fighting.
That became a joke later on.
There was I'm pretty sure the man had a stroke.
What just happened?
I
that
described Rocky in 3 seconds.
Now, were you talking about the way Stallone talked or the way Burgess Meredith talked?
Stallone.
Okay, because they both kind of had that same thing as a Meredith. That's more than you gotta catch a chicken rock. Okay, you've got enough time for one more movie time. Give me a movie.
I don't know. I'm in Michelle Pfeiffer land.
You still in Michelle Pfeiffer land? You can't get past Michelle Pfeiffer.
Well, I was like, I kind of wanted to see the whip thing, and then I did, and I was like, okay, yep.
Snowy castles, roaring fires, cozy sweaters, and a score set by John Williams. The Christmas scenes are brief, but the mood screams December.
Okay.
What movie do you think it's describing?
I genuinely don't know.
Okay. Now imagine the news that you were delivered to, that was delivered to you, that you are magical came from a giant
Oh,
furry
Harry
man.
Potter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. You're a wizard, Harry.
I always forget that takes place like at Christmas
A
time.
lot of good snowy Christmassy scenes that happen in there.
That's true. Actually, in a couple of them, there's some really good Christmassy scenes. Because, like, how cool would it be? Because, like, the sky in the Great Hall, like, mimics the sky outside.
Yep.
And you walk in there, and it's, like, snowing from the roof, but it's not really cold.
Yeah.
And you're having, like, a giant feast. Like, dude, that'd be so cool.
Yep. That's I think that Universal Studios has got it right when it comes to
There is no reason to remake Harry Potter.
They are though.
I know
It's happening. Universal Studios though, they have such a good forced perspective version of Hogwarts built to where it looks like you're maybe about a football field length away from it, but it looks like you're like maybe I don't know, like a quarter mile away from the biggest castle you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they've done it, but it's just like you got to stand there and look at it for a minute. Like, I had to stand there and just look at it for a minute. Maybe that's just me. And I was stone cold sober, too. I'm talking, I ain't eating nothing. I'd like to go back eventually.
That is cool.
Maybe
Like-
one of these days you'll want to travel, and we'll have
if-
enough people that like the podcast that we can just go to.
No, that would be cool to go to Harry Potter Land or whatever they call it.
Yeah, they've got two different parks that are connected, and I think a third as well.
I would want to go to the one that has Ollivanders because
that's-
I'd need to get me a wand.
Well, that's Hogsmeade, and then they've got Diagon Alley.
Well, no, Ollivanders wasn't in Hogsmeade. It was
That's just the area that it's called, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. They call it Hogsmeade area.
Okay.
And then they have another Wizarding World of Harry Potter on a different island that is referred to as Diagon Alley.
Okay. Well, that's where Ollivanders would be.
And then they have another one that is in a different island, and I forget what it is. It's the newest one. And you can actually get to all of them if you get a Park Hopper Pass, because you get a Park Hopper Pass and you just want to go Harry Potter. You go Harry Potter with your Park Hopper Pass, go from Harry Potter, take the Hogwarts Express, go to the next park on the Hogwarts Express.
Okay.
You get to the Diagon Alley one, and if you're not paying attention, you can't see the entrance to it. Because if you're walking a certain direction, it becomes blind to your peripheral and everything. You can't see it. But if you turn another direction, now a giant gateway is basically opened up. It's a forced.
That's awesome.
it's
Well, that's how it should be.
It's a forced illusion kind of thing. Like
That's neat.
And then I don't know about the third world, but I think that good. It would be so great to go down there. I would love it. I would spend way too much money. I mean,
Yeah. Well, it's like I wouldn't care about riding any rides, but like seeing the attractions and going in like places that are modeled after the movie.
yeah, dude.
I would definitely buy me a wand.
No, Hogwarts.
I don't even know how much that would cost, nor do I care.
The Wizarding World is actually the most worth it part for me of going to Universal Studios, because they've also got a bunch of the Marvel character things over there as well, from wherever Disney hadn't purchased all the rights to have all the stuff.
I do love the videos of Megatron.
That's cool.
Ain't that at Universal?
Yeah, that's at Universal Studios. I went to
Yeah, where
Islands
he's
of,
like just fucking with people.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I went to Islands of Adventure, and Islands of Adventure is the one where Wizarding World is. Diagon Alley was opened up at Universal Studios, so they're connected to each other, but they're separated by water.
Gotcha.
So
Well, I would feel like one of the parks would almost have to be Hogwarts itself, because why would you not?
well, they make the Hogwarts experience, but they make it a forced perspective castle, and
No,
then they
I mean,
make it.
I would want to go into the castle.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to build a full blown Hogwarts.
That'd be dope.
you couldn't build a.
I mean, at
like
least like a couple of rooms.
you could. There's no way that they could justify ever having a park that
Sure,
has,
they could, because
has a-
I want it.
that has 100,000.
That would guarantee me showing up as if you built a Hogwarts.
Well, if a Hogwarts ever does actually get built, Tiny, I guarantee that we will find a way to make it there and take a walk around.
Heck yeah.
The moving staircase might give us some problems.
Dude, I was on YouTube one day, and this lady recreated Hogwarts hut. Not Hogwarts, sorry. Hagrid's hut as a Airbnb.
That's cool.
Like literally giant size furniture and everything. It's amazing.
I wouldn't mind checking that out.
Yeah, because you see her sitting in one of the little kitchen chairs, and it looks like a little kid in a big chair. It was amazing.
Listeners, we've got to another end of episode. Hopefully you have enjoyed sitting and listening to us. The hour has flown by, as they typically do when we get to chitting and to chatting. Thanks for joining us. If you don't care, join us again next week. We're getting really close to Christmas, and I think that now is the point for me to warn you that if you don't already have your online shopping done, it might be too late for you. Because I'll tell you right now, based off of the shipping of the stuff that we've been receiving at the retail store that Tiny and myself both work at.
Yeah. Overnight.
Yeah, let me tell you about how quickly overnight shipment means these days. Everybody have a good rest of your week. Thanks for joining us. Stay warm. It's frigid out there. Meow. Why the fuck again? It really helps with the meows.
It does.
Got that black cherry. It really helps with the meows.